Hello, welcome to our podcast. This is Together for Dialogue, and we are here because we are here together for dialogue. This is Amar, Boštjan, and I'm Atena. I will be your host today, but first, let them present themselves. So, Boštjan, who are you and what do you do?
Well, this is one among the hardest questions to answer. Who are you? What are you doing? Because I am dealing with communication for basically my whole life. So I do introduce myself as a communicator. My job, my work is to deliver the messages from whoever to whoever. I mean, basically, I'm somebody who tries to achieve the better communication as we can get in a certain moment.
Okay, and in which field are you working currently?
Since our company, Klun Studio, is mostly known for branding, for some advertising campaign, for interior designing, hospitality design, hospitality management, and also for the events and PR. I can tell you that we are that since the introduction was that I'm doing a lot of things in the field of communication, I'm somehow involved in any of those fields because my theory, so to say, is that the creativity is universal. It's just the way how it comes to life, and it's impossible to not to communicate. And I also sometimes say that a good communicator is the one who who knows a lot of let's call them tools, how to achieve the better communication result, how to get to the to its own public or to the public of his of its client. So
Okay.
basically, to answer in short, well, yeah, I'm working on some PR projects. We are just about to finish a program for a PR project for Ministry of Cohesion and Regional Development here in Slovenia. We are looking forward for to continue working in this field because we find very fine as you introduce ourselves. I mean, as you introduced this morning topic, this morning talk, and well, okay, there are a few other branding projects, but let's stick on the PR side, the communication side. Let's say also to talk about more about politics, about communication in politics and stuff.
Okay, so you're like a communication wizard.
Well, let's have a
Okay.
communicator.
Or just
'Cause
communicator.
if I would be a wizard, I would have a stick, and then I
You
would be,
wouldn't be here, you would just like
yeah, I would
and
be probably some kind of Alice in Wonderland,
oh, well that would
or
be good.
chasing unicorns or something.
Oh, that's a good one. I would join.
Well,
Okay, Amar, who are you and what do you do?
Yes, some short introduction from my side. My name is Amar. I'm 25 years old, currently living and working in Maribor, Slovenia. I'm a student at the Faculty of Economics and Business University of Maribor. I'm studying e-business. Otherwise, I'm working at Mitter since October last year. I'm working as a junior project manager on the different projects funded by European Union, and the projects are dealing with the position of the young people and the sustainability in the European Union, and that is something for short introduction from my side.
Okay, so you are a youth worker, right?
Yeah, also I'm a youth worker participating in different projects, and in all chances I got to make some positive impact in the society.
Okay, thank you. Thank you both. Well, because you are a youth worker and you are a decision maker, that's what we call you in this
okay,
podcast because this
fine.
is Together for Dialogue.
I go.
I will ask you, what is youth worker for you? Who is
Mm,
youth worker for you? But
mm,
don't say Omar.
I will not. It's more. I suppose that we are all the time somehow. We let's say that I'm a kind of a youth worker also by myself. I have not to underestimate nobody, but I do have two kids at home, and when the debate goes in the direction of discussing anything with youth, I do have actually two kids. One is 10, the other one is 12, and
You
there
have
are.
to use communication tools that you mentioned before with
First of
them.
all, you have to realize you have to admit to yourself that you don't know nothing, and all the things that you do, all the things that you know, all the things that you come along, basically are not so meaningless, but they have changed a lot. So this is the first thing that you should have always in front of you. All the mechanism, all the things that were important to you, they do not, they might not even exist anymore. So it puts you in a position of always wondering what to do, how to approach
Mm-hmm.
them, which language to use, which are the fields of interest for them, and basically it's a continuous working. You're always working on something, always t- trying to be a step ahead, but in fact, as I said at the beginning, you're basically miles behind them. Because even talking about tons of social media, we were born in times that social media didn't exist. If I tell you about MySpace, which was one among the first media platforms, probably a lot of people don't even know that they don't know that this MySpace existed, and what was used for. And I remember how people migrate from this MySpace to platform to Facebook, which was a new platform at that time, and it was attractive. And then we saw emerging this Instagram thing, and so on and so on. So it's not important how many social media we know, but I mean, we saw all of this, the birth, the death of social media, the migration, the getting old. I mean, I do have the Facebook account. I'm 45, and this is my platform right now. And then
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to my daughter. She was born in 2010, and she used this Snapchat as a communication tool. Instead of sending messages, short message service, SMS, she sends snaps. And I mean, and why this is so important for us, since we said that we're going to talk about communication, why people don't go to vote, why there is such a lack of interest for the politics, because we don't want to face the fact that we are old, and we are using the complete, I think we are using a completely wrong way to communicate with young people. No, let's say that I do have some advertising backup, okay? And since the birth of advertising, there are 5 steps which are important. One of them is definitely to be very well aware which messages are important. I mean, it's important to understand what is the basic need. Okay. The second one is to talk the same language as your target, so to say. And I think we fail in both of them, because from the perspective of Slovenian, and I think also the European politics and politicians and politics and policy, we are addressing young people with completely wrong messages in a completely wrong way. And this is one probably also of the reason why we are so unsuccessful in inviting young people to come to vote.
Mm-hmm.
I remember a few years ago, Slovenian national television start with a campaign to invite people, young people, to come to the vote, to the polls. And what had happened? Only the radical left or right came. That there was no impact on the populations which were the target one.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because we were addressing them in a completely wrong way, through television, through website of a national television. I mean,
Mm.
there were not, and well, let's make a pun here.
Okay, okay. I heard some on the
Yeah,
on here. What do you think about the things that
yeah,
Mr. Boštjan just said?
yeah, I completely agree with. I would say that we as a country need different strategies to
Mm-hmm.
deal with the communication and also the position of the young people and how they behavior in their society. But if you ask me who is the young leader, I think that young people is every individual who is born to make some changes, some positive impact in his or her society, and persons who can inspire other people to collaborate with each other
Mm-hmm.
and to make something that will give some positive impact for them and for their kids, etc.
And how do you think that we can maybe shorten this gap, or how do you think that we can involve young people in the decision making process?
But I think we should include them in the more organization, more association to collaborate with each other, because I think the young people are the power of the society and they have a lot of ideas, but maybe they don't have so much chances to express their thinking, their ideas.
Mhm. So that's where you, as a decision maker, come in, right? You can
Well,
collaborate with young people.
we had 2 years ago a chance in Slovenia to see which is the best way to involve young people into everyday politics.
Hmm.
So, first of all, we are addressing young people, the first voters, with a completely wrong message in a completely wrong way, because we are addressing them with topics they cannot neither understand the need to deal with them. For example, what will you do when you get retired? Who gonna
Mm.
give you money? I don't care, because I mean,
Yes.
I do live for tomorrow. No, I live for today, because tomorrow, who knows what it will be. Okay, we should do something for the society. Why? Society never helped me. I do live my life. This neoliberal agenda was so successful in making young individuals really individual. I do have everything on my own. I don't need nobody, and so on and so on. So basically, I think that once again we are addressing the tomorrow decision makers, the most important part of the society with the completely wrong messages. We are not involving them, but in 2022, I think, we have this referendum about water. And what had happened then? Uh, we laugh about Greta Thunberg because, you know the joke. You shouldn't use diesel while you are cultivating the fields. Yeah, well, what should I put inside the milkshake or
Yes.
something? But this is the perspective of a 45 years of a 45er, okay, instead of somebody who should be, I don't know, 18 and trying how to pull his or her friend to come to vote.
Mm.
So we had this referendum about the water, and and they address the public, the young people, the young voters, with few important message about the environment, about the topics. We completely we completely forget about them. How many times did you heard about environment before 2022 in Slovenia? As a part of a political program of every party. But there were no connection with the base. There was no connection with the people.
Mm.
Yeah, we do have some idea. There is even a party who, instead of being red, dressed themselves in green. It was this left party, as you might remember, and they have a complete imaging in the green. But still, I mean, there is no connection with. There was no connection, or there is still not no connection with people who we are trying to involve. So one of the way, if we will start addressing young people with the messages, with the topics which are important for them, then we will have a lot of people coming to the voting pools. We should take also in consideration that at that time, this was the first way. This was the first possibility to say that we are against to a politic of that time former prime minister. But anyway, even if we are even if we are so naive that we will say, yeah, this is just because we were all against Janš and this was the first way to demonstrate it, I think we are completely wrong. Because no, even more important referendums, and they were most of the time against somebody. We didn't involve so many young people, And I think that this is one of the way that we should take to make also politics much more important in this 18 to 25, 27 gap, in this 18 to 27 years generation.
Okay, so do you already participate maybe with youth workers or youth leaders in some way that you describe now that's wrong? Maybe what are you doing in the positive way, if you know what I mean? What are you changing maybe now in this time as we speak?
It's important to say that I'm a member of Social Democrat Party in Slovenia, Social
Okay.
Democrats. We led two or three campaigns in the last period. I mean, okay, even more. There was this referendum thing. It was a local election, the election for the National Assembly, and so on. And you're always trying to introduce, to make visible as much as young leaders as you can. But on the other side, you face the problem because there are not so many young leaders, because there is a big gap in people who is willing to participate in a public political debate.
Okay.
Because politics, the rate of politics in society is very low.
Yes,
If,
agreed.
if you will take a look at some if you will start thinking about what people think about politics, then you will never end there, because the image of a politician is, I mean, it's not so highly ranked, right?
Yes.
Basically somewhere down in the bottom of all rankings.
Yes.
And I think it's quite hard, I mean, also to become to decide to to come out with this. Yes, I'm a member of a political party and I would like to participate. Even probably because some old guys will say, well, you should wait for a little while, it's not the right time for you, and so on. I think that we are addressing a lot of problems here, not just the communication problem. Well, it is what it is. The answer is we were thinking a lot, but we haven't done enough.
Okay, so you will do, right? You are constantly thinking. As you said, I also agree that maybe a role of politician is in the minds of young people somewhere down. So maybe Omar, what's your how do you say view on this? And would you ever maybe participate as a youth leader in some political ways?
Yeah, I would, but I think that you young people need to be more supported from the older people who are more experienced. So there's a lacking of so-called mentorship and the resources. I think the young people should have more resource from the city, municipality, etc. to be to get more support to express their ideas and to be more involved in society and to um, yeah.
Do you have maybe some example? How would you bring this whole thing together? Maybe, I don't know, some kind of project, some kind of
But
meeting.
through collaboration between young people and maybe their mentorships through different types of workshops where they can address their problems, social issues in their society, and to get support from the others.
Well, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm unfortunately our time is up. I'm really upset because this is really now getting
We are
like
getting
started,
serious,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
yeah.
yes. But I mean, I would like to firstly thank you for being here. I hope we have a chance to talk maybe more in the future. Also, I would like to invite you to connect to each other. Maybe you will
Yeah.
some. Maybe in the future you will collaborate and we will come to see you, communicate and being together for dialogue as we are today. And also I would like to invite the people who are watching us and listening to us, please go to older people, as we said here, go to politicians. They are not so scary as you think, because we are here to make a decision as decision maker, as young leaders and as young workers. So for the last maybe sentence I would like to to ask you, what would you like to say to people who are listening to us and maybe youth workers?
First of all, as we see in Slovenia, you will not win the election with a party because sometimes it's enough to have one recognizable face. But if you want to do something good for the state, then the party is more than necessary. And I think that believing in a party also answers all your question about um, leadership, about mentoring somebody, finding yourself in very well structured society, structured party. And I think it's at this point very important to say doesn't matter if it's right, left, with stripes, with dots, no matter what. But if you would like to see a change, then the only way is to enroll in politics because all the most important change sometimes have to pass. I mean, all the time have to pass through the parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And if we like it or not, if we love it or hate it, the politics is the only way how the changes could be applied.
So young people have power.
Definitely. And
Yes.
not just they have the power. I think that it's time that they should start to understand how much they start to consider how much power you got.
Thank you very much. This is really good. I also almost cried. This was really inspiring. Omar, what would you like to
Yeah, I
say to
will
our
agree with
viewers?
you both. As you said, you young people have so much power, and I will tell them to get more into action, but to politicians and the other people who take the responsibility and take decisions to include young people more in decision making and to give them more support.
Nice. Well, thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching us. And remember, you have the power to change stuff. You just have to be here together for dialogue. Thank you.